crowd. There's a huge atmosphere been building all day. The likes of Darryl Clark knows that they're the team that could be under pressure here. They celebrated last week with some silverware. Can they get to the grand final after 80 minutes today?
Well, that's the big question, and we're about to answer it in those 18 minutes. Ben Thaler and all the referees in action this weekend will be on trial as well, hoping for that place at Old Trafford. He blows the whistle, Jack Owens kicks us off, Stephen Ratchford underneath it, Ashton Sims with the first one, and what an opening collision involving Greg Richards.
The prop forward Richards put his shoulder right into Sims. Boy, they felt that. I said he was going to be rough and tough. Hold on to your seats.
Pitch magnificent. There was a sprinkle of rain just about half an hour ago as we were involved in our build-up to the kick-off, but it looks now as though that has just held off. So let's hope for dry conditions. It'll be a little bit greasy, a little bit dewy underfoot as Chris Hill plays that ball. And here is Joe Westerman. And an early touch, and so important for youngster Declan Patton.
Yeah, and that's good defence by St Helens. Their first objective would have been, and Kieran Cunningham, the coach, would have told them, we've got to make sure that we keep Warrington in their own half when it comes to the kick. But what about that? It has not gone. And that has really worked out well for them.
Johnny Lomax was hoping that that ball would just trickle its way over the sideline. It was not going to do that. A wonderful kick from Kirk Gidley.
Eddie, that's the game. The long kick to the corner, the big aggressive chase. Johnny Lomax knows that he's under pressure from Jack Hughes, but both sides have got very good halves who play with composure. The likes of Kirk Gidley and Luke Walsh know it's about getting to the back end of your sets, turning the ball over on your terms.
That's a great start from Warrington, and they have restricted St Helens to their own 30-metre line before they have to get the kick away via Luke Walsh's boot, straight into the arms of Stephen Ratchford. Good chase though from St Helens, led by John Wilkin. He gets the tackle in on Ratchford, who plays the ball to Rhys Evans. And Evans will have a little scamper, gets the Wolves over the halfway line on the end of the second tackle.
And what a great season Rhys Evans has had. And you can see that Warrington are already in the St Helens half, deep inside in fact. And they've still got three up their sleeves, play the balls, that is.
Ashton Sims will carry the battle forward right down the middle of the field.
Keep your eye on Stephen Ratchford, the fullback. He'll want to link.
This is Gidley. Little drop of the shoulder and a dummy, but Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. James Roby would not be fooled. This now is Darryl Clark. And there's the kick from Patton to the corner, looking for Lynham, only finding Adam Swift though. And a good job that Rhys Evans got to him, because Swift is exactly that. And he had open field ahead of him, 100 metres down the other end.
Tremendous take under a lot of pressure. Jumped high, not the best out of the copybook really. And he made sure that it was going to be his. It's tense. We expected it to be that way.
Luke Walsh going early, yes, and he's gone for a 40-20. He's gone for the 40-20. He's got it. It's just short. It's just short.
Well, the writing is on the wall, isn't it? Even though he hasn't got it, maybe just half a metre. But Luke Walsh knows that this is going to be the way forward. That was a great effort. It's always a bit of a risk. Always a bit of a risk when you get the kick into the corner.
Well, it's about building pressure, isn't it? And that man knows exactly what to do. Kicking on the third play. Luke Walsh, excellent play from him. It's exactly what you need. You build that pressure, you turn the ball over in the opposition's half, close to their line.
Going for the ball, I tell you. Okay,
and he was just short of the 20-metre line. He kicked it from deep inside his own territory, though, did Luke Walsh.
And they will be the tactics, they know it.
In geographical terms, it was a 40-20, but it wasn't on the line. That's the only problem.
Yeah, but the problem now for Warrington is how are they going to get themselves over into the opposition half? It won't be easy. Look at that. They're getting out. Amor is on the board.
And so is Atkins. That was a strong run, and he put James Roby on his backside. That's another good run as well from dummy half, from Darryl Clark, almost up to halfway. Patton drops the ball off to one of the big men again, Ashton Sims, the Fijian international. He gets up, quickly plays the ball to Clark. There's the kick now from Patton this time. Oh, this is high. This is high. It's a tester for Lomax. He's A-OK underneath that.
Boy, that was high. I mean, it disappeared way out of sight above the floodlights here, who have they're very, very low on the stand, so it wouldn't disappear.
I think the Wolves will be delighted with a way of some control to start a big match. The 3 occasions that they've given possession to the Saints, on every time the Saints have had it within 10 metres of their own try line. That's wonderful territorial control at the start of the match.
Tony Smith's grand final wins 2004, 2007 with Leeds. He lost in 2005. Then 2012, 2013 with Warrington. How he would love to get back there this year. How he would love, and the Warrington supporters would love as well, to come back from Old Trafford next Saturday night with that grand final Super League trophy.
Well, another kick yet again from the Kieran Cunningham side. Wasn't on the 3rd from Luke Walsh, it was on the 4th.
Move, James! Wait here, Louis.
Warrington well aware on the early kicking game. Both the wingers, they anticipated it, dropped back very quickly indeed.
4 tackles gone. Warrington in possession here with Westerman. St Helens just hanging back in defence, allowing him to pick up steam. He offloads the ball then to Darrell Clark. Walsh is after him. Spins him to the ground with a bit of help from Jack Owens. Last one coming up then for Warrington. Patton again. High kick looking for Evans, looking for Lynham. Swift again is equal to the task.
Oh, it's such an unorthodox method that he does take that ball, but that's on the second occasion. Obviously, Warrington coach Tony Smith feels that there may be a problem for Adam Swift. They certainly stepped up to the plate on 2 occasions.
Well, last week St Helens had a terrible problem. They kept dropping the ball too often. They've shown complete concentration here tonight and wonderful control. They've taken everything that's been thrown at them. And again, this time it's Roby attempts to kick to the sideline, but that could be out on the full.
It is out on the full. Was sliced by James Roby. They'll bring it back to where the kick was taken.
Eddie, obviously it's not the kick that James Roby's looking for, but kicking on the 4th play yet again. They need to probably play out the sets, get to the 5th tackle, because they're still bringing the ball away from their own half. They're not getting enough depth on the kicks. When Warrington are kicking the ball, they're trapping Saints close to line, which means that every carry is going to be a tough carry for Saints coming out of yardage.
Tez, I get the feeling that St Helens want to kick because they're kicking early, is because they want to try to turn this Warrington side around. The trouble is that the Saints' defence are not doing the job good enough to prevent them from getting over into their half.
4 Warrington players named this week in the Dream Team. St Helens stung by the fact that for only the 3rd time in 21 seasons, no members of the Dream Team in the Red V of St Helens this year. This is Declan Patton. Back it comes now to Gidley. And he gets the ball away to young Sam Wilde. Another on playoff debut for Warrington. Westerman. Flat pass finds Sims. Sims offloads to Clark. Does really well, and Darrell Clark attacks him down the middle.
Tried to spin around as well, did the hooker. He was looking for support there.
Ratchford on the bounce. Knocked on by Patton. It wasn't the best pass for Declan Patton to pick up from Stephen Ratchford.
Yeah, you can't blame the youngster. It's a shocker. Simple as that. The one thing I have noticed, and this is what confidence they're obviously giving this, Tony Smith, the coach, has said to Patton, you will take first receiver and push out the experienced Kurt Gidley into the second receiver, and that is so important because the confidence that will be running through the veins of this young Patton will be immense.
They lost to 12-man Wigan here a fortnight ago. They bounced back in style last week to silence 17,000 at the KCOM Stadium in Hull and win the League Leaders Shield, and therefore scupper Hull's hopes of the treble.
Eddie, and the game management was questioned when they played against that 12-man Wigan side, but last week they were incredible, and it was led by that man Dec Patton. But by bringing Kurt Gidley back into side, that's the calming influence.
It was a risky offload from Kyle Amor. It was a good job that Richards was alert. Here goes Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook now. And that's the 4th tackle for St Helens. They're in Warrington territory. Turner with the kick into open space. This should be easy enough for Ratchford, and it is, but Turner following up brings him down.
Wait here, go.
Well, I don't think we've seen the St Helens outfit actually wait for the last tackle. Obviously the tactics, trying to push them back, but can their defence stop the onrush? And that's a good run there from Russell.
Yes, it is. Solid enough tackling though in the centre of the field. It was Joe Greenwood who was last off the ground for St Helens. This is Ashton Sims, first to his feet, plays the ball to Clark. They go left to Jack Hughes. And Hughes is halted.
And again, Eddie, they're over the halfway line. These tactics from St. Helens, they're just not working. They're not preventing Warrington. Was that a late challenge? No, according to the officials.
Are we happy with that, Stuart Cummings?
Yes, I think he went to tackle him, and tackle was fine. Got him round the waist.
So this is Adam Swift playing the ball to Jordan Turner. He finds Percival. Percival is tracked all the way by Gidley. Here goes Swift again from dummy half. Good run from him. Gets the Saints to the halfway line.
Yeah, quick thinking by the winger there. Could see that Warrington just didn't get the first and second markers sorted out.
Louis McCarthy Scarsby. That's the fifth. Here comes the last then for the Saints.
And I think that's a first in the game. It had waited till the last.
High kick here from Luke Walsh, right on the goal line. Ratchford positioned perfectly, almost got away. Jack Owens with an important tackle.
Steve, you said that's the first time they played it out till the last tackle. Look where they turned the ball over. Close to Warrington line. These first three are so important. Ryan Atkins, Matty Russell, very good at bringing the ball back, landing on the front, trying to get quick play of the balls.
Well, St Helens there were all offside at that play the ball. They were in front of the referee, and the Warrington supporters on this near side have spotted that. This is Darrell Clark now.
Saints are having all sorts of trouble trying to stop them. The quick play the balls that Warrington are producing tonight, it's exceptional.
With a high kick, one for Lomax to chase. Lomax pouches it safely. Lomax with a lateral run. Big hit by Ryan Atkins. Walsh goes to the right-hand side. Owens now for St Helens. Roby into centre field. Richards comes onto the ball. He missed last week. Greg Richards rested as the man at dummy half. James Roby coming into this match then fresh. Amor. Solid defence from Warrington.
Hasn't it been a good start to the game? Just one mistake in the opening, was it nearly 12 minutes?
It's what we'd expect from a semi-final.
Excellent. Both teams red hot at present. Another good kick. Just taking control, getting the ball again to the final tackle, kicking the ball off the pitch. And that's what I talked about before, Eddie. The control of the likes of Kurt Gidley, Luke Walsh, they're so influential to how their sides play.
26th appearance of 2016 for Luke Walsh, his best tally in 3 years. 18 in each of his first two at St Helens, and they brought a big contingent with them. The Saints sold out of all their allocation of tickets. They're behind the posts. Eamon McManus, the chairman, wants to get back to Old Trafford. So too, of course, does Warrington. So too do Wigan and Hull, who are waiting, feet up at home. They will be playing tomorrow night live, Sky Sports 3 at 7:30. Wigan against the Cup winners.
Well, the Saints got through about 10 minutes of the grand final last year. Don't forget, they lost at Leeds, but they were very competitive until the dying stages of that match. I think they started this game under pressure, but playing very well for the first 10 minutes, and they'll be happy the way that they've seen off the early onslaught of pace that Warrington try and play with.
Good tactics there by Saints. You could see they were slowing them down. They realised that Warrington are playing the ball exceptionally quickly, and they're just holding them down for those split seconds.
Kurt Gidley is a vital cog in this Warrington wheel, as we see Wild take them over the halfway line again on tackle number 5. Patton with another high hanging kick. Owens is underneath there. Owens drops it. First mistake from these high kicks that have tested them left, right and centre so far tonight.
Well, Declan Patton has been superb with the strength and the height that he's been getting. And you could see there a real big error there from the winger, and he knows it, and this is what semi-finals are all about. You've got to take advantage of an error from the opposition.
It seems to have gone out of fashion, but players used to turn, didn't they? If they dropped the ball, it would have gone backwards. Nowadays the confidence maybe perhaps too high on that occasion. Jack Owens, well, you can see with the anguish on his face here.
Okay, we'll make sure you stay there back all out.
Well, the kick from Patton was magnificent, and fully justifying the faith of Tony Smith in keeping him in the side. He has started like a house on fire, looking like a man who wants to get to Old Trafford. Darrell Clark then from dummy half drops the pass off to Chris Hill. Been magnificent this year, Chris Hill for Warrington.
Keeps
Clark
going
behind him. Gidley fires the pass wide. Patton bounces off one. They know the threat. Look, he's surrounded by white jerseys. 3 of them there to bring him down. Greenwood making the initial challenge. Ratchford again. Here is Gidley. Short ball then to Ashton Sims. Sims over the top. It goes to Westerman. Here now is Sam Wilde. Jordan Turner getting hold of him. He's finished off by John Wilkin. They are 5 metres away from the line. Warrington, intense pressure with Westerman. He finds Gidley. And Gidley over the top. Oh, and Turner went for the interception. Ratchford got it away out the back of the hand to Atkins. Atkins keeps it going to Patton. Patton then drops it off to Sims. Sims then gives it to Gidley. Gidley then gives it to Chris Hill.
Well, that looked like basketball, didn't it? Keeping it alive.
Last one here for Warrington. Patton stabs the kick in. Walsh read the script perfectly.
Straight into the bread basket. Not the best kick through.
It was good defence, that wasn't it, Steve-O from Saints?
Well, Jack Owens will be breathing a massive sigh of relief, and this will help.
Yeah.
In a dangerous position, boys.
Looks to me as though they're taking over the horizontal. You could see quite clearly there.
16 minutes on the watch, first penalty of the game.
There's always a temptation when you're defending as well, when there's that many offloads, that someone tries to solve the problem themselves. When you're defending, you'll shoot the line, you'll try and close that ball player down. What Saints did on that occasion was just make sure they were communicating, they held the line, and nobody jumped and tried to be that hero.
Be interested to see how Saints do this now. Remember, they started a little flourish, kicking early in the tackle count when they had possession. Obviously, the message from Cunningham, the coach, has got out to them. Let's play the full 5. That's the first run we've seen from Roby from dummy half. Seen quite a few from his opposite, Darryl Clark.
Kyle Amor for the Saints.
3
tackles gone there. 40 metres away from the Warrington line. This is Turner again. Back it comes to Lomax. Wide to Adam Swift. Swift trying to stutter his way past the line and can't get away from Rhys Evans. And Rhys Evans this year, when he's been playing in the centres, defensively, he has been magnificent.
One of the best Warrington players throughout the season, as far as I'm concerned. This is a golden opportunity, but that's a knock-on.
Yes, Roby of all people, knock-on at dummy half.
Well, the first real chance to apply some sort of pressure. And you can see there that Roby, in his mind, that ball was already about 10 metres away, but definitely a little juggle there.
There was a juggle, Stuart, but was it a definitive knock-on?
I think one hand came off it, so he dragged the ball forward when he wasn't in possession, so he classes as a knock-on.
From the turnover, Kieran Cunningham, Sean Long watching on, stern-faced. As Hughes takes the ball forward now for Warrington. 2011, their table-topping side, one of 4 not to make it to a grand final. Saints 2005, Wigan 2012, Huddersfield 2013, the others not to make it from the summit of the table in the playoffs.
Warrington quite happy to play very tight, short pass. Look at them, barely taking one step, not standing deep at all. Oh, that's an error, got away with it.
Radar just slightly wrong, but no, it was touched by St Helens. 0 tackle here. Russell is brought down, that's the 0 tackle. 6 to go then from here for Warrington. Ashton Sims takes it on again up the middle as he does each and every time he plays, and what's more, he gets a penalty because there was a little tug at the ball by the St Helens defender.
Yeah, I think you might find the second row Greenwood just gets the hand underneath. You can't see it from this angle, but the left hand, just a slight one. Couldn't get away from it. The eagle eye of the official, Ben Thaler.
Indeed, eyes on stalks. Yep. Ben Thaler. Oh, hello. This is interesting. They are kicking for goal, Warrington.
That doesn't surprise me any. Both coaches are fully aware that this was going to be a tight game. So to get the scoreboard ticking over is so important.
Definite penalty.
Sorry, points of pressure, aren't they? Look at that, nearly 20 minutes into the game. Tony Smith knows that there's a game on here between Warrington, his side, and Saints. Declan Patton.
Well, he's given the duties, isn't he? Both Patton and Gidley in the Super 8 said they have kicked 14 out of 18 attempts. Identical records, but it's the young man who now has a responsibility to try and put his team ahead.
Yes, he's only 21 years of age, Declan Patton. He was out on dual registration last year, came back actually and was almost in the wilderness for the back end of 2015. He has come into the side at the back end of 2016 and made an impression. Can he give them a 2-point lead? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Declan Patton's kick gives Warrington the early advantage. Well, early advantage midway through this first half.
How much confidence do you think that man's got, Declan Patton? Tony Smith, the coach, would have said to him during the week, whenever we get tries or whenever we get penalties, I want you to kick it. Not Kurt Gidley, but that man, Declan Patton. Big men there, Louis McCarthy, Scarswood, Luke Thompson. Two big power men here.
That's a key factor, I think, when it comes down to coaching. Is that he was a man of the match last week against Hull. It would have been devastating if Tony Smith would have dropped him, say, to the bench. And that is the reason why this youngster, General Patton, I call him, and this guy really has come to the fore.
Well, Kurt Gidley, 87 successful goal kicks this year. Dec Patton now 20, and it's a sign of the respect that the Warrington coaching staff have for Dec Patton, that he has been given first stab at the job here tonight. Clark with a run. Luke Thompson was on hand and got a hold of him, but couldn't stop him completely. There's Patton again. He's kicking everything tonight. This might be a little long, it is, on the 5th or 6th bounce. It just skips its way dead.
Well, before the game, Eddie, I made it quite clear that St Helens, the back three, McCarthy, Scarsbrook, Greenwood and John Wilkin, they would have really worked hard to try to put the pressure on this youngster Patton. But I'm afraid they're not making any inroads at all.
It's St Helens' 45th playoff game. They've had 28 wins. We've talked a lot tonight about the wonderful record that the Saints have here in the town of Warrington, either earlier at the Witherspool ground or on this stadium now. Away from home in the playoffs, they've won just 5 of 12 since 1998. It is not cut and dry by any stretch of the imagination tonight for St Helens. Although they do have it in the locker, don't they?
They certainly do. It's always nice to, I suppose, mentally think, well, we've got the wood on them. That's a neat kick. That is a great kick. He'll just go over the whitewash. John Wilkin.
I think he wanted that one to stay in the field of play, didn't he?
Yeah, the experience held it. And they know that their defence, both defences, are going to be on top. And sadly, in such pressure games, it's a mistake where you pick up the points. Remember, Jack Owens dropped the ball. Warrington couldn't make them pay. They only came away with the 2 points.
You either need some luck or you need some players with real class to win a game at this level here. We've seen on the left-hand side, St Helens, the number 4 there, Mark Percival. Whenever he gets the ball, you can sense there's something about to happen, and I think Saints want to get him the ball as often as possible, because he could be their game breaker tonight.
22 and a half minutes gone. Only the 2 points from the boot of Declan Patton separating these two sides. When you think about it, any 2 of the 4 in the semi-finals over the next 24 hours will grace Old Trafford on Saturday week. Grand final, 8th of October.
Isn't
on Saturday.
Isn't that good that we can't pick who's going to be the finalist? It's so close.
Clark.
So busy. He was trying to milk the penalty there, but Thaler, far too experienced, he said, get on with it.
It's a good kick that from Gidley. It meant that Lomax had to move from the left into the middle of the field.
Move! Wait here, guys, don't go early, Sam. Wait.
Go. Try and find the ground. That's what these kickers need to do. Jack Owens with a return here, so some of the outside backs will be Adam Swift on this next carry.
Well, Saints have just played their joker here, really. They've waited for 23 minutes and a half here now before they've brought on their biggest strike weapon. Alex Walmsley now charges the ball forward, and he alone has had the ability at times to alter the course of matches with the charges and the quick play the balls he gets out of the back of him. Can he do it here tonight?
Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook takes it forward to the 5th and last. There is Alex Walmsley watching as Luke Walsh hoists this kick high. Percival's after it. Percival is after it. Swift is after it. The ball is knocked back. Oh, and it's knocked back off the fingertips of Stephen Ratchford. It's an extra set of 6 coming up for the Saints from 20 metres out.
It was a big mistake. You don't let the ball bounce. It can go all over the shop, and it did.
Luke Thompson takes the ball forward. Quick play the ball. Here is Roby. Now it's Walmsley. Walmsley is greeted by those 3. Westham and the dominant force. Westerman all over him. Should be a penalty and is. Will St Helens take the 2? Will they run it? Kieran Cunningham says we'll have the 2.
Yeah, too close to the post to turn this down. Well, he tried to get out of the way, didn't he, Westerman? Watch this. He tries to put him on his back. That stops him from playing the ball very quickly. The big fella warns and says, well, if you're going to do that, I'll play the game. Get out of my way. And yet, there's the whistle.
He's a big, imposing figure, isn't he? Well, here we go. We have 6 more players. The ball went up and Tom Lynham and Stephen Ratchford. Well, neither one commanded that ball. And then that run from Alex Wands. He's made 76 tackle busts this year. That's incredible for a prop forward.
How many did you make, Terence?
He did that in his career.
I wouldn't have done that many, Steve-O, in all honesty.
Joe Greenwood. Joe,
so Luke Walsh here with the opportunity to level the scores.
All right.
A broken leg in Widnes, in a game against Widnes rather in 2014, wrecked his season then. He missed the grand final that year. Determined in 2016 to make up for lost time, and determined here to make it 2 points apiece. That's exactly what he does. It is going to be so tight, it is going to be so close, this match, and it is after 25.5 minutes, 2-2.
Well, kicks like that just settle the nerves. 2 apiece. Luke Walsh just making sure that it's neck and neck. It's been an incredible 25 minutes. Both teams giving it their best shot. But the Saints kicking the ball early, well, it certainly worked for them in the opening half. And Warrington, well, they started off really strong again, led by Chris Hill and Ashton Sims and Darryl Clark, who were immense last week at Hull FC.
Warrington 5 wins from their 7 Super 8 matches. They kick off, and here comes Thompson again for the Saints.
Last one, move, Joey!
Of all the top 4 sides, St Helens rely on getting close to the opponent's try line and crashing over it to score more than the others. And what Warrington have done successfully in this 26 minutes is starved them of those chances. But now, with some added possession and 2 points on the board, they're looking to get close again now at this step.
Well, talking about luck, it's the big fella there, Alex Walmsley, moved off the mark about a metre forward to play the ball, got away with it.
Walsh gets the square pass and finds Wilkin, who has a hand in the face of Sam Wilde. The youngster wouldn't be put off, though. Jordan Turner with another kick, asking the questions of Ratchford. Oh, he's lost it. Ratchford has lost it.
First knock on.
First knock on.
First
knock on, says the referee. It appeared to ricochet off the head of somebody. Should it have been played on Stuart Cummings?
No, because it came off the head, but I think it hit St Helens player in front of him, so he's accidentally offside at that point. It hits the head there, and it's Percival, I think it hits in front of him. That makes him accidentally offside. So he's right to call it back.
Fair play, thanks, Stuart.
No, I'm going to go with my call.
Well, isn't it a high tackle first? Makes contact with the head, Stuart.
Joe, just a minute.
Also,
So it's come down, and it's St Helens at the ball, first defence.
There's contact with the head there, that's what they picked up.
Time's off.
Not only that, I feel that it's Percival has knocked the ball back, so that should have perhaps been played. Either way, St Helens will not be complaining about that.
I wonder whether the referee has asked Joe Cobb to have a look. I think he has, because he's given a penalty. High shot on Ratchford.
Well, he gave himself away as well, did Mark Percival. He walked over to Ratchford and said, I'm sorry, apologise. Nice to see. Nice to see. He knew it'd gone away. Well, a big let-off. And silly play from Percival when they could have had the opportunity to score the first try of the game.
Indeed. Instead of that, Warrington begin this set from just inside the St Helens half of the field as Clark finds Chris Hill.
That's 2.
Chris Hill, Ashton Sims still out there, 28 minutes gone, following a familiar pattern. Now, Ratchford, Evans. Brought down legally by Percival and by Jordan Turner. Ratchford a dummy half. Into centre field to Gidley. Now it's with Westerman. He drops the pass off and finds Hill.
Interesting to see the full-back Stephen Ratchford. He's actually playing more as a stand-off.
Westerman. Here now is Patton. Oh, lovely drop of the shoulder from Patton. Very alert. They had to be in defence, and Greenwood was. Gidley looking to prise open the St Helens defence. Loses the ball forward. Knock on.
great hit there by Alex Walmsley. You could see that Gidley was trying to stay.
Warrington's head and feet here. And that's the reason why.
Yeah, you can see Walmsley's hand. It was a big hit as well. Gidley was trying to offload shapes to it. And watch the big fella, bang. Gets a fingertip to it as Walmsley. More pressure.
Play on about when it hit the ball and step.
No, listen to me.
Yeah, no.
The game's dead because we had 2 knock-ons up there. Alright, so listen. So the video referee can come in like he does. Same with this. And this call's right. He's already said.
That's all I'm saying up there. That's the same thing.
He knows that they're under pressure. He knows that it's St. Helens scrum. So let's just calm things down.
Talking politely as well to the referee.
Of course, all captains should do that. And all captains should be smart enough to do what Wilkin has done.
Now this is Westerman. Westerman is brought down. This is a big set for Warrington and a big defensive set for the Saints as Sims takes it forward. Roby lifted off his feet but still held on. Clark, back it comes now to Patton. Patton finds Gidley! Gidley scores! Oh, Hattie! The impression is from up here it's a try. What have they got on the field?
I've got a try on tackle 2, Joe. Can we just make sure there's no obstruction?
Just checking for obstruction. I think the grounding's A-OK, Stuart.
Yes, it looked that way. Not so sure a Warrington player didn't get in the way. Whether he had any impact or not, I'm not so sure. This will clear it up. I think it's the first run through. It's Westerman there. I don't think there's any problem with that. He's going on the inside shoulder. So that's fine. What happens after that?
Well, if they're playing on, which they are, it's going to be given.
It's this next one here. We get 2 players behind each other. Does he have an impact? Is it Lomax that's going across? Does he get in the way? No, he doesn't. There's not an issue there. Chris Hill's got through the line, so this should be okay. If the grounding's fine, and there's no problem there, that's down. That'll be a try.
So they gave a try on the field. They just wanted to check the obstructions. There was none of those. This will be given. Kirk Gidley on his comeback after injury gives Warrington the lead in the semi-final. Kirk Gidley, 10 years since his last playoff win in the NRL for Newcastle against Manly in 2006.
And a lot of credit has to go to the Warrington coach, Tony Smith. I mentioned earlier that he has the confidence of this Declan Patton, taking first receiver and pushing the experienced Kirk Gidley to take it on the second. It was a perfect pass, and Gidley's experience made sure it scored.
Well, Warrington had so many players in motion then. Kirk Gidley's parents will have got up early to watch this game, hoping that he gets to the grand final next week, and another important 2 points here from Declan Patton.
Yes, Patton. Well, he's got a cruel head on young shoulders. And Warrington now lead after half an hour by 8 points to 2.
You don't see as many ball players, which is what Kirk Gidley normally does, run at the line and commit to score like he does that. And it makes him perhaps marks him out different to so many of the other standoffs who've played this season in Super League. He's bravely gone through there, but his head may get hurt. Made sure that his team come up with the first try.
Eddie, and let's not underestimate what Ashton Sims did with that carry then. He come up with a strong carry, set the line, sucked in the defenders, and there was a bit of space out wide.
And you've also, let's not forget the fact that Mark Percival gave them the opportunity, the penalty way downfield, got them into that position in the first try of the game.
The King brothers are on for the Warrington Wolves.
Still 2.
This is Darryl Clark, meanwhile.
3.
Got his first trophy as a player last week, the League Leaders' Shield. Desperate to make it 2 next Saturday. Gidley, the try scorer. Hill, the skipper, takes it forward as he has done consistently all year. Ratchford, here's Gidley again, will attack the line once more, gets the ball away to Toby King, the younger of the 2 brothers. Ratchford again, here is Gidley, last tackle here, high, Jack Owens, what's he thinking? Oh, well, he's okay because Atkins has dropped it.
Wait here,
just couldn't take it in.
He was in all sorts of mental torment though with Jack Owens. He came, he went, he stayed, he went, he came back. But when it was, Atkins couldn't take the ball out of the air.
Eddie, he'll be thinking back of the fact when he dropped that that high bomb earlier in the game, Jack Owens. So he'll be nervous, and it's good tactics by Warrington to apply even more pressure to the boy.
Lomax gets the ball wide to Adam Swift. Swift is quick, so is Lynham. Great tackle by Tom Lynham, and he flicks the ball back very well to Swift. Here is Percival, and Percival is on a low mission because it's blue jerseys all round him. But what a play by Adam Swift. Here is Luke Walsh. They come wide down Percival's side again. This is young Morgan Knowles.
Boy, they nearly got caught out there, the Warrington defence, and that'll be the turnover.
Wait there, guys.
What a great tackle.
Well, he came up with 2 try savers last week, didn't he? Tom Lynham against his former club, Hull FC. With a good offload, and this man, like Phil said before, he's had a very good start to the game. Always looks dangerous, Mark Percival, whenever he has the ball.
Go.
This is Tom Lynham again. I beg your pardon, Joe Westerman again. Tom Lynham, whose name is at the back of my mind. Those 2 tackles there he made in keeping St Helens at bay. And here's a penalty to Warrington. This will help them. At half-time, Steve-O, it's almost the last chance to talk to him on Twitter at Sky Sports RL, hashtag #AskSkyRL. He's got 9 days to go. The microphone goes on the golden nail at full time as far as the grand final is concerned. And talking of the golden nail, there's Terry O'Connor at full time. He'll be on Facebook. You'll talk to him ad infinitum for years to come. Well, a few months anyway.
He hopes.
Play on.
Oh, that's dangerous. They didn't need to do that.
It's long to double
take advantage, though.
Good tackle by Lomax.
Tony Smith, the Warrington coach, won't like that. He wanted to get into a good position because they're going to pepper Jack Owens again.
Atkins gets the ball away, and it was just a little bit flamboyant. He knew what he was doing. Evans and Lynham didn't.
Well, it's sheer panic when they don't have to. They're not playing catch-up.
It's naturally they doubled up both centres. Atkins only plays on the left-hand side of the field for Warrington. Him and Evans were together. He created an overlap, too many numbers, more attackers than defenders, but he wasted the chance.
Time's off.
Yeah, I think that Tony Smith would have sent the message out and say, come on, these 6 points are vital because we've witnessed already in nearly 35 minutes that the defences on both sides are going to be very difficult to break down.
Do you think it'll open up in the second half?
There'll be a few more tries, I would imagine, Eddie. But the way that they've been defending, they've been absolutely brilliant, both sides.
Wait here, guys.
Considering that so much at stake, 80 minutes from a grand final, there's just been 1 try in the opening 35 minutes. That's commitment and desire, that.
Roby goes down the right-hand side with Joe Greenwood.
This is where they've got to just have a little bit of composure, the Warrington defence. Don't give away a silly penalty late in the tackle count.
And we are late in the tackle count now. Thompson to Turner. Here is Lomax. Lomax is brought down. Tackle number 5. Last one then here for the Saints. Walsh goes high.
Okay, give him time.
Oh, this is going to bounce. This could go anywhere and comes back to Walsh, but he was called as coming from an offside position by the referee. Inside the 10. The moment he touched it, Ben Taylor on him like a flash. Penalty Warrington.
He was actually the kicker. It's the other players that were in front of him. And he's ruled that there was somebody waiting for the ball, and therefore they were offside. I actually think they're all onside, and it should be play on from that.
Well, we've seen that so many times this year, haven't we? Player runs, who kicks the ball, runs, puts everyone onside, they think.
That's right. I think he's just misread the kicker coming through on that one.
You think Ben has misread the kicker?
Wait here, guys. Back on.
He's only human. And no doubt. They need a lot of help from
wait here, guys, wait, go.
A big let off there for the Warrington side, and I really don't think there'll be anything fancy now.
Wait here, guys,
Try to apply the pressure, kick into the corner. As I say, Jack Owens very nervous at the moment out there on that right wing.
Westerman though, on one leg and
back with me,
put to ground.
Come on.
Clark, Gidley again. Well, Luke Thompson went for him and missed him. Gidley makes some more valuable meters forward.
Go.
Gidley plays the ball. Ryan Atkins almost away from 2.
Fifth tackle. Move!
Good
Back
work
from here,
actually
wait.
from
Wait
Morgan
here.
Knowles.
Wait, go.
Gidley. High.
Back.
Flick backwards. Luke Walsh accepts the gift.
Movement!
Yeah, just
wait
buzzing
here,
around,
don't go
wasn't
early.
he?
Wait!
Little half-back Luke Walsh there realised that perhaps Warrington were going to flick it back.
Movement!
Read it exceptionally well.
Hold it, stand square!
Dominic Peru plays the ball. It was Roby.
Dominant!
Westerman didn't miss,
Wait
did he?
here.
Did
Wait!
not. Jack Owens felt that. Here goes Thompson.
4. Movement!
They'll feel pretty confident as well with the Warrington Wolves. Only with the fact that they're virtually cutting out, but
So far.
Saints,
Great
beautiful
ball.
pass.
Turner finds Swift. Lomax in support. Lomax is there. Saints are over. Johnny Lomax improves the angle. Tremendous try from St Helens. The money ball was Jordan Turner's. Swift with the pace. Lomax with the support. St Helens with the 4 points. Great try.
Sure is, and what a sensational season Jordan Turner has had. Since switching from the three-quarter line in the centres. Look at this, just how he sucks in, sucks the 2 there, and that gives you opportunity there. The winger, he knew the fullback was there, and Lomax had enough to make sure that he went as near to the post as possible.
Well, they scored a similar try to this earlier on this season on this ground, striking from deep, showing quality and pace, and delivering a great pass. And it's one of the reasons, Eddie, why you can never write off the Saints. They're under pressure, half-time's approaching, but they could have just put themselves level.
First try for Johnny Lomax since he scored in the Super 8s here in August when the Saints won by 20 points to 18. His 10th of the campaign, and Lomax just before half-time. Perfect time to score, and he has improved the angle, so this should be academic. And look what it means to Kieran Cunningham. Look what it means to him. So often Kieran Cunningham and Sean Long have haunted the Warrington Wolves so often in their playing careers.
They sure have.
That was a great try. Here comes Walsh. The scores are level. 8 apiece. 1 minute to half-time. What a first half.
Yeah, wonderful play though by the standoff Jordan Turner. The way that he sucked in both Rhys Evans and Tom Lynham. And soon as they went for him, it was an offload to the winger. And Swift made the break. And what support play by Johnny Lomax. It's game on.
Very much so, 8-all. And psychologically, a perfect time to score.
Well, it's just a little reminder, isn't it, just before you go into the dressing room at half-time, to be confronted by your coaches. Saints back in the game. Wow, what a second half we're going to have.
Indeed so. 30 seconds to the half-time siren. Saints now will try and hang on to the ball, surely. There'll be nothing fancy now that they've got themselves back into this match.
You almost get a money-back guarantee, don't you? The games between these two teams are going to be close, they're going to be dramatic. There's going to be an amazing finish to the match. And Saints, well, they've not quite finished this first half.
No, they haven't. Walsh. Walmsley. Up the middle. Another marauding run.
Got to be a high kick, surely.
Penalty. Could be two backs on offer here.
Yeah, they'll go for the 2.
Darryl Clark pushing and pulling.
Straight away, John Wilkin puts his finger up, but again, it's that man, Alex Walmsley. He causes a lot of problems, doesn't he? You can't dominate him, he's that big. He lands on his front, you're trying to slow it down so your teammates can get back and defend that next set of 6.
Yeah, just held on too long there, I'm afraid, did Darryl Clark. Well, no doubt in my mind that the Warrington side, when they kicked off, they shut down. They thought, OK, 8-all, half-time, we'll go into the sheds, sort a few things out with the coach, Tony Smith. But they forgot about one thing. Lovely run from Roby. Then they give away a silly penalty. And now Saints have the opportunity to go into the sheds with a 2-point lead. It's a long way out.
It is a long way out. It's exactly 40 metres out. But if Luke Walsh kicks this, St Helens have the lead for the first time, and the half-time siren has sounded. So many people this week have told me how worried they are about this semi-final.
You're back him to kick this as well, Eddie.
You would. Here he goes. Walsh, the crowd will tell you. The flags will confirm it, and Saints go off leading by 2 points. 8 points to 10. Look at this try that levelled the game. Lomax in support, Swift pumping in the air in the background.
4-3.
That levelled it, and then we had the penalty, and St Helens, having been behind for 39 minutes and 50 seconds, go into the dressing room at half-time with a 2-point advantage. Saints 10-8 up at half-time. John and Brian with plenty to talk about at the touchscreen when we come back. Sit here on Sky Sports, 12:30 midday, Sky Sports dedicated Ryder Cup channel. We are all Europeans for a weekend.
Okay, Ned, when you're ready.
Right, yep. Warrington.
When you're ready, Steph.
Are trailing at half-time. They
are
about
Tony?
to get the second half underway, attacking from right to left as we watch. Primrose and blue against the red V of St Helens, 40 minutes away
Stay behind, guys,
from the biggest night of the year, the grand final at Old Trafford next Saturday. Who is going to get there? We will find out in the next 40 minutes as Ratchford gets us underway again. That try just before half-time for St Helens could be, Steve-O, massive psychologically.
Yeah, it certainly will help, that is for sure, and for Saints to go in there with a 2-point lead, okay. It's not a lot, but you're right, psychologically it'll be a huge lift to them. And I just got the impression that a minute and a half before half-time, Warrington looked as though it was going to be 8 apiece, and then they just went to sleep, trying to keep the ball alive, and I'm sure that Tony Smith would say, look, we have to be alert for the full 40 minutes in this second half.
Alex Walmsley will trundle the ball up towards the halfway line.
Come on, boys, go.
Just lost a little bit of momentum there with the last pass that went slightly awry. And that's a great kick again from Luke Walsh. It's spun away from the touchline, being run back by Stefan Ratchford. Right, what was said at half-time? Angela Powell.
Thanks for that, Eddie. Well, Tony Smith says these boys have been trying a bit too hard in the first half, and this arm wrestle, he called it. Not the smartest they've played so far this year. You've seen glimpses of it in the way they plan to play. They need to get back to that plan. But he says they need to fight this second half and fight smarter. Now, Kieran Cunningham, he said just more of the same, please. Exactly the same 40 in this as they brought in the first half. Complete. Kick chase. Great, might be simple, it might be boring, but that might just get them the win. Oh, by the way, just one last moment. Somebody just won a trip to Australia by kicking the crossbar at half-time. And Henry Briscoe, the son of Sean Briscoe, also did the same, getting a signed ball.
Wow, trip to Australia for one guy and a signed ball for the youngster. Not bad. They might be sitting alongside you, Steve-O, on the flight home.
Give it focus, fellas. Here we are, please.
Who knows?
Wait here, please, guys. Wait here. Wait!
It'll be champagne all the way, I can assure you.
Heads in, John!
I'm sure it will.
Out!
Mistake by Darryl Clark, you might have just seen at the play the ball, and that's why Saints have this head and feed. Here comes Walmsley.
He looked completely shocked, didn't he,
Darryl
Clark?
We're here, guys.
He's been outstanding, though, so far in this game. I mean, he's been the best player on the park as far as I'm concerned, but he's come away, he gave away a penalty, which took St Helens to a 2-point lead just at half-time, and then he's come up with a knock-on. Even the best can come up with the errors.
Well, they've liked attacking left here towards Evans and Lyndon. They've gone down through the middle of them.
Find the line, Tom!
Last tackle coming up here, and that's lost then by Thompson.
Well, that's justice done, because the pass before that definitely was forward pass.
He's still on him, but he's just lost the ball.
Well, he was trying to get to his feet. He had the Warrington man. There's the forward pass that Steve-O alleges. He was trying to get to his feet here, Thompson. Warrington man on his back, Stuart.
I think he was still hold of his arm. I think that's what he was complaining about, but it's difficult to tell at what point Ben Thaler called held and when he had to release him.
Stand up, boys. Same
Like
again,
I
these
said,
stumps,
Eddie,
guys.
justice has been done.
Actually, he's pulled the arm as well. He's pulled the arm away, and that's released the ball.
Okay, let's find properly, George.
Anyway, it's a Warrington scrum.
Okay, fellas.
And the physio and doctor just checking on
Here we go,
Darryl
please.
Clark.
Stay there, please. Wait there. Not yet, Kurt.
He's not packing down in the scrum. He's just
Kurt.
gone to the
Stay.
far side,
Head in.
playing on the right wing right now.
Back up.
And meanwhile, the man who's normally on that wing,
That's one.
Tom Lyman, takes the ball forward on this, the first tackle.
Wait here, mate. Go.
He plays it then to Matty Russell, winger from the other side of the field.
I bet Kieran Cunningham's done an awful lot of work on him, on his kick returns, on his runs from dummy half. Darryl Clark normally always scoots when Matty Russell's carried that ball in.
Move, James!
Clark fully recovered by the looks of things from that bang that needed some attention. Here is Toby King for Warrington. Tackle number 4 by Mark Percival. They played the ball into the body of Percival then. This is Rhys Evans now. He's looking to prize an opening.
And again, good refereeing by Ben Taylor. He's kept this game flowing. That the reason why it's so entertaining.
Here's another high kick. This is a little tempter. Flick back to Ratchford. Here is Gidley. They go wide to Rhys Evans. And Evans is bundled into touch and he lost the ball anyway.
Jordan Turner, sheer weight. It was a great effort though, wasn't it, by Rhys Evans? And it was Lomax made the first impact. Then Jordan just finished him off. Boy, that was close.
Very close from Rhys Evans. Welsh international.
It's a big play that when the ball goes away from you, you've got to keep pushing from the inside. That man, Johnny Lomax, has been very good since he's come back from his injury.
What a
He certainly tried, didn't he?
Fantastic, wasn't it? Fullbacks nowadays so involved in the attacking side of the game. Sometimes we neglect that their job often is to save them at the other end, and his body shot there just forced the ball free.
Alex Walmsley's been involved in just about every run. Here he is again. The Saints have had in this second half so far, carrying the ball bravely forward.
It's been a good combination, isn't it? Kieran Cunningham utilising Kyle Amor to start with, and then bringing the big fella Walmsley onto the field of play.
I think you might be feeling the pinch right now, though, as Walsh drills that ball along the ground into touch.
Smart play.
Well, as Kieran Cunningham said to Angela Powers, you know, not pretty, but maybe effective.
But that's the game, isn't it? You can't get bored of the basics. Kicking the ball on the field of play, walk to the scrum, let your big forwards, the likes of Alex Walmsley, who earned the penalty just before half-time with his big, strong carry. You've got to give those sorts of blokes that breathing space that they need to recover so they can come up with the same play time after time. That's the job description. Keep turning up, taking the ball forward, let the halves control the game.
Saints the only team now to have appeared in all the playoff campaigns since 1998, and they're chasing an 11th grand final appearance. They are 2 points to the good. They are 34 minutes away from achieving that in 2016. And an achievement, if it happens, that never looked possible at the start of the season.
Went through some dark days early on in the year, didn't he? Saints. The fans put pressure on. That could have been a penalty from Joe Greenwood for the flop.
Should have been.
There's a great tackle by Walmsley in the background.
Yeah, but never mind. Could it should have.
Last tackle here for Warrington now. Darryl Clark gives it to Gidley. Gidley will hoist it high and long. What a great kick. What a great kick. Right on the St Helens goal line. Fielded by Adam Swift.
Boy, talk about confidence. Swift watched that like a hawk. Came down. He was under a lot of pressure.
Who would be a fullback or a winger standing underneath one of those balls coming down?
Move, Jack, get inside!
Roby waits, 20 metres away from his own line. Owens will take it forward.
Move, Joe!
Look at the way it comes out of the air, spiralling all over the place.
Fifth tackle. Away, Joe! Wait here, square up! Wait, go.
Last tackle, Saints still inside their own territory. Wilkins gone for a 40-20, not quite got the angle right. But it's not so bad, just the same. It does run dead in goal.
Who's back? Tell me who, tell me who, tell me who.
He would have liked that to have gone over the whitewash on the touch side on that left.
I'm sure he would. It would then have been a 40-20.
Yep. And that defence, I mean, you've got to pride yourself, and both these sides really have worked in overtime in defence.
That's true.
Not many opportunities, not many clean breaks.
Wait, go.
Televay out there for the Saints. Philbin rather takes it forward.
Oh, he lost that.
I think the referee almost agreed with you. The whistle went to his mouth.
Well, he lost it.
Now the whistle goes to his mouth and blows for a penalty. He has lost it.
Yeah. Well, that was very fortunate.
Nice shot by Wilkin.
On a change of direction from King at the line. Isolates John Wilkin. Gives the penalty away for the high shot. This is a long kick here from Deck Patton.
There to Boomer. Where they start this set from. 25 metres away. There's Patton, the kicker. Now Gidley gives it width and finds Ratchford. Ratchford tries to go inside Roby, but Roby snaked out the arm, pulled him down. Gidley, and once again it is Toby King. Clark, Gidley gets the ball away. Patton, oh, and a flick pass that went backwards to Matty Russell, hugging the touchline. He cuts in field, gets away from 3. Amor is ahead of him. And Amor brings him down 10 metres away, 20 metres in from touch on this left-hand side. Ratchford into centre field to Westerman. Now Gidley. Gidley finds Darrell Clark. There's danger here for Saints. He's short, just short.
Oh, that's
penalty, pushing and shoving on the line by Saints. Penalty given away.
Well, there were 3 or 4, never made any advance backwards.
Wait here, guys. Come.
Now then, they're going to run it. They feel pretty confident now.
Ashton Sims will take it forward. The main flowing behind him.
Bradford got the arm. He wants it. He wants it out here on the left.
Gidley to Patton. St Helens close him down. Ratchford now in the dummy half. Patton looking for the penalty. Ratchford gives it then to Gidley. Gidley to Hill. Telebay to him quickly with Wilkin. Down he goes. 3-4 metres shy of the line. Gidley gives it width and finds Westerman. Here is Evans out to Lyman. Good work defensively. He smuggles the ball back though to Rhys Evans. Saints muscle up again.
What an offload. Unbelievable there by Lyman.
Clark to Gidley. Gidley to Sims. Sims gets it away to Deck Patton. They close him down again. Wonderful St Helens defence thus far. Quick play the ball. Ratchford! What a try! What a poacher's try from Stephen Ratchford! Inching towards 100 career tries now. Stephen Ratchford. Impressive at standoff last week. Man of the match at Saints in June. He might just have breached the defence critically for the Warrington Wolves. 12-10. But Stuart, let's look back further in this movement.
Well, Warrington just got a slight advantage because the ball boy throws the ball onto Matty Russell. He's supposed to put the ball down on the line and then the ball comes on, and that was a couple of penalties ago that gets him in this position.
At the end of the day, though, it was a quick play the ball that's done it, isn't it? I think St Helens' defence has been magnificent. They're playing against a team that has scored more tries than any other team in this country this year. And yet they made it virtually impossible. A quick play the ball and some quick thinking from the number 6. And it looks like they've got 6 more points on the table.
Yeah, tremendous work by the fullback, Stephen Ratchford. And you could see quite clearly that Luke Walsh was off balance when he tried to get himself into that position at the second marker.
And this for a 4-point advantage for Warrington. Declan Patton. He is just steadying himself. And he kicks the extras. Warrington 14-10 up.
Well, you've got to react to what's in front of you. And Stephen Ratchford can play a number of positions. He goes in because he can see that John Wilkin and Luke Walsh aren't set. And look at the reaction from Jordan Turner. They didn't control that play the ball. Deck Patton got up, played it really quick, did his job and set that try up for that man.
So Saints now are the team that have to come from behind.
Eddie, you mentioned it before, Jordan Turner doesn't want his season to finish now. From his reaction behind the sticks, he wants to get to the grand final and go out with a winner's ring.
Good run from Chris Hill again.
Well, he's done that all night, he's done that all season. And what about this fella? Okay, gave away 2 silly penalties, but he defensively has been outstanding.
Fighting for his feet
year.
there as well. This is Gidley. Here now, Hill again. Gets them over halfway. Another great run from the captain.
And he gets the advantage of it because he pulls in 2, 3, sometimes 4 would-be defenders.
Another sensational kick from Gidley, trapping Lomax on his own line. Good chase from Warrington. Sinks with Swift.
That's great defence as well.
Wolves with their tails up now.
Yeah, hold the mistake in defence, get off the line, try and hit under the ball. The ball's a bit greasy from the rearing hand just before the game.
Wilkin, a solid run. Inching away from their own line. A Televay gets them towards halfway as they reach tackle number 5. Last one coming up then.
Maybe a chip over the top, Eddie.
No, all along the ground. And an invitation to Ratchford to run it back. He's got Lynham in support wide, takes the tackle though himself.
Too experienced though, Stephen Ratchford, to be troubled by that. And well, that's good defence there, working overtime.
Yes, Dominic Peyrou gets back into position quickly as well. Lynham, 2 tries last week against Hull. A couple of important tackles last week as well defensively. 1 or 2 here tonight also from the big winger.
Oh, that's good strategy. Good work there by Toby King. Run from dummy half, get himself in a good position. They'll drive it through and then they'll put another kick in. They've got to the last.
Yes, last one coming up here. Hughes to Patton, it goes high again. Lomax comes for it, claims it.
Oh, hits a brick wall as well. Boy, talk about bravery.
Jack Owens now.
He's tackled by Morgan Smith there, number 31. Just come on, sat waiting patiently over 50 minutes on the bench. Down Platt gets a rest. We're not sure whether he's injured. Maybe Angela will check that out. Now, big responsibility on the number 31.
There's Morgan Smith, another youngster off the production line, only his 7th appearance of the year.
Tackle 4, move Ryan!
31 just peeling away from that tackle on a Telebay. Amor to Walsh, quick hands, he finds Turner then to Lomax, inventive kick from Lomax, he finds Swift, and Swift down the line, hunted down by the defence, and he has to release the ball. He was on his way into the touchline.
Well, it looked for one moment there that Swift was going to go for the little kick through. This was the first kick through, and it looked as though I may have a kick across field. That may have been the better option. As it turned out, it's going to be Warrington head and feed.
He changed his mind, doesn't he? And then all of a sudden he sees a bit of space and he backs himself. But you're right to talk about the youngsters in this Warrington side. So many times we talk about Leeds and Saints and Wigan producing their own. We've got 7 lads, Warrington, that have come through the system that are playing here today. And if you look at last week when he went up to Hull FC, just had 1 overseas player in that 17, that was Ashton Sims. So they're doing a tremendous job here.
They are, and only 2 in the side tonight as well.
Yeah, they're doing a tremendous job, and Tony Smith, very proud of the fact that he's blooding English players. You could even say the likes of Stephen Ratchford and Chris Hill. I know they're not come through the Warrington system, but they've been embedded and they've come into the side as senior players, but they've certainly excelled.
Let's get straight down to Angela Powers.
Wait here, please.
Yes, Phil, you were asking about Darrell Clark, whether he's injured. Well, he's sitting on the sideline near me. He's not injured. He's just taking a spell, a bit of rest. That's how quick and how fast and how furious this game is. Just taking a little bit of a break.
Jack Hughes was hammered in the tackle there. There he is, Darrell Clark. Sims down on tackle number 4.
And Clark will be looking to get back on that field of play as well. There's not many hookers in the world like to be sat on the bench. They know that they have a very pivotal role towards their team.
This is a really physical battle. That kick from Gidley, probably his worst of the night. Straight to Lomax.
But the chase is good. Solid line of defence. Ooh, be careful, don't give a penalty away. Looked as though Chris Hill just had a little bit of a hand in.
Jack Owens.
Wait here, boys, don't burn me. Wait. Good.
Roby. And Peyrou takes the ball forward.
3, move, Jack!
Saints having trouble getting over that advantage line. You can see that they're struggling. They're into the 4th now. They've just got into the Warrington half.
And Roby was collared right on the halfway line. He'll play the ball to Walsh. Louis McCarthy scars, but Kyle Amor dealt with solidly, and very good tackle it was too by Toby King. kick then from Wilkin. Ratchford's after this. Have to run it back from one end of the field to the other now, Warrington. Surrender! 4 points the difference.
His position of play, Stephen Ratchford tonight, wonderful. He looks as though he's reading that. And again, we see Roby. He's had a tremendous game so far. A good season as well.
Atkins been relatively quiet tonight by his own high standards. In the dream team for the second time. That was Smith to Sims. Here goes Smith again. Here's Gidley. Danger for St Helens every time Gidley has the ball in his hands.
Well, they anticipated, they thought he was going to kick.
Last tackle here as Morgan Smith heard the call. I don't think he has. He hasn't. He wanted to play the ball. That was the last tackle.
He got carried away with the quick play the ball from Kirk Gidley. All hookers go on the back of any decent quick play the balls around the ruck area. He didn't lose, he lost the tackle count there, the youngster.
Wait!
He's Adam Swift again.
Oh, that could have been a penalty. It looked as though it was over the horizontal. Got away with it.
It was just about flat, wasn't he? That's a tackle from Morgan Smith. It was just about legal. Luke Walsh changes the direction. Turner. Amor.
Well, they'll bring a lot of spark. And they need it as well.
Wilkin over the top, in towards the corner. Finds touch on that far side. Now the Saints will hunt the mistake.
Yeah, playing the percentages, Wilkin. He knows the experience. He knows that they've just got to keep themselves down there. And so does this guy.
21 minutes remaining.
Kieran Cunningham fully aware that they've got to force this error now. They looked a little bit sluggish. Maybe he could make the difference.
Wait there, please, guys.
It's all building up to this, the grand final. One of these two great sides will be there next week. The other place in the grand final decided tomorrow. Wigan against Hull, 7:30, Sky Sports 3. And it's a heck of a weekend, this. We've got these two semi-finals, and we also have the £1 million game. Hull Kingston Rovers will take on Salford for the right to stay in Super League next year. One of those two proud clubs will be playing Championship Rugby League next year. Rovers or the Devils? Who's your money on?
Wait.
Find out with us. As Westerman drives it forward again.
That's pretty good defence by Saints as well. They've kept them well and truly in their own danger red zone.
Gidley, though, no wonder Tony Smith brought him back into the side. The moment he was given the green light that he was fit. Oh, hello, this is Ashton Sims with the kick.
There's two worrying signs there. The last time they got to the last play, Morgan Smith got tackled on it. Now they've thrown it to Ashton Sims and he's kicked and in the end had a decent result. Just elements here as we get to the final quarter that there isn't the calm approach that Warrington will want here now to control where and how the match finishes.
7 St Helens players were ahead of that play the ball when it was taken. Now they're behind the ball, showing signs of fatigue, perhaps.
I think both sides will find it very difficult. The final 10-15 minutes.
Here comes Turner again. They go wide down that left-hand side to Mark Percival.
He's the go-to man on a long shift, isn't he, Mark Percival?
Good tackle by Gidley on him. They're appealing for a knock-on by Lomax. The ball, though, finds its way to touch on that far side.
Well, it bobbled. I'm not so sure he let go of it, and he just breathes a huge sigh of relief.
Do me a favour. You just make sure it's not
no, it's fine. It's fine. Picked up cleanly. I think so, Stuart.
Yeah, no problem with that. His hands, both hands always on the ball.
Yeah, I've got a time.
Didn't pick it up cleanly, but it wasn't a knock-on.
Make sure I've not missed the knock-on.
He's just asking the video referee Joe Cobb, Ben Thaler, just to check that he hasn't missed the video ref, missed the knock-on. And the video ref, I think, has concurred. There was nothing wrong with it.
Guys, come on.
Whether it be John Wilkin stepping out on that left side, putting the kicks in, or Johnny Lomax, it's just a game of chess now, isn't it? For these two teams, who's going to make the mistake? One converted try could get the team to Wembley.
St Helens just don't get any possession near Warrington's try line. They play for 20 minutes, they've worked so hard, but I guess the control from the Wolves has starved them of any chances. If Warrington get the ball, Eddie, and get near the line, I think they can magic a way over it. but they do need possession near to the Warrington zone.
Coach Terry Satellite Navigation's working next week, and he puts Old Trafford in, not Wembley.
4.
It's the grand final.
Over here, wait. Go early, wait here, 4.
Man, you always take the wrong turning, Terence, don't you? Every time.
Well, it'll save on petrol.
If he comes to Manchester, he might go to London.
Oh, that's a knock on.
No, it went
Play
backwards.
on.
Went backwards, play on. This is the last tackle now for Warrington again. Roby quickly out of the way as Ratchford plays it. Morgan Smith all along the ground with a kick.
It's a good one
Goes
as well.
its way.
Yeah, look at, he's got to stop it with the foot. Look at the chase there.
Surrender!
Boy, that's one thing that Tony Smith will be very pleased with tonight.
Yes, the defence so far has been good. Those two have led the way, Hill and Sims.
They always do, but Saints as well have stepped up in the last 2 sets of 6, restricting Warrington to 27 metres when they've been carrying the ball, and then 32 metres in the previous set.
4. Move, Chris!
Roby gets St Helens almost to halfway. Tackle number 4.
That's one of the rare forays he's had from dummy half in the second half, and he's starting to realise that he knows he's got to perhaps come up with a magic nice dummy there from Walls.
Yes, McCarthy Scarsbrook. Oh, they've lost the way though, badly there. Lost the way badly. Talking about satellite navigation, it switched off then.
Certainly did.
And here's the penalty offside, St Helens. Will they take the 2? Will they stretch the lead to 6?
No, they'll go to the corner, Eddie. They know that Saints are now vulnerable. When you start putting the ball around like that, when you should have been looking for someone to get the kick away, the heads start to go down, and boy, the enthusiasm is running through the Warrington side now.
Absolutely, and this is Ryan Atkins 5 metres away on the first tackle. Here is Gidley. Old Trafford, Sir Matt Busby way, beckons for Warrington here. As Darrell Clark scampers in at dummy half, the rest is over. This now is Gidley, wide he goes to Ratchford. Ratchford goes wide to... The try is given to Tom Lynham. And what a fairy tale return it's been for the big former Hull winger. Tom Lynham, 2 tries last week to help them lift the League Leaders Shield. His 15th try of the season now to nudge them to within touching distance of Old Trafford.
Well, this all came about by just completely ridiculous play by Saints when they should have been looking for the kicker. And talk about relief for Tom Lynham. Remember, it was Lynham coming in with Reece Evans that allowed Saints to score that Lomax try. And for him to squeeze him like that, what a relief. And what a return to the big time for Tom Lynham. No better way than to prove the point than to score 4 of them.
Well, he missed out on 2 Wembley Challenge Cup finals, 1 with Hull, 1 with Warrington this year. Is he going to play in a grand final on Saturday week? Warrington are inching their way closer. 18-10, kick to come. Still not over for Saints. Still not over for Saints, but they have to score twice. This would be a kick and a half. Patton. What an effort it was. Now then, we have a slight concern about the grounding, Stuart.
Just seemed to come out, certainly from the last angle we saw, it looked like the ball had been knocked out of his grasp just as he was coming along.
Oh, it's a knock-on. Oh, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on that might take Warrington to Old Trafford.
Boy, that was extremely controversial.
Well, remember what happened in the last minute at Wembley.
Wait here, boys. Wait. Go. Keep coming, Alex.
That was certainly... It was either knocked out by Saints or it was a drop ball by Lynham.
Either way, it should have been no try.
He looked at the touch judge, though, did Ben Thaler, got the confirmation from him. So there was no need really to hand it upstairs. There was no doubt on the field.
Oh, you've got to have some doubt yourself as a referee. If you think he's grounded the ball, you're not going to use the technology, but probably would have been wise to do so then.
Clark almost got the ball away to Russell. Last tackle here for Warrington. Gidley into the corner, punches the ball there, and Lomax this time allows the ball to run dead.
What a second half Kirk Gidley has had. A little bit quiet in the first half, mainly due to the fact that it was Declan Patton. The youngster was taking control there, but the second snapper, the experience of Kirk Gidley has certainly come to the fore. But what about that run yet again from Darryl Clark? What a game that hooker has had.
Kirk Gidley, also the heartbeat of this Warrington side, has never played in a grand final in his long career in Australia, and right now he is less than 14 minutes away from playing in one of ours.
Well, it's important now that Warrington do not go to sleep. Remember, minute and a half just before the half-time break, they did exactly that. They thought they was going into the sheds at 8-all. They finished up 2 points behind.
Last tackle here coming up for the Saints. High this time off the boot of Walsh. They're all after it. Ratchford gets it though and claims it.
Swift is injured.
Yes, he's taking a clatter. He's getting back to his feet somewhat gingerly as Lynham is brought down by McCarthy Scarsbrook.
He diffuses more situations. That man who's going to play the ball, Stephen Ratchford. Look at that. The commitment to catch that ball. When you get Saints close to Warrington's line, they won't be kicking the ball out play. They'll all be attacking kicks. Make it a contest. Go in here, and here we go, Matty Russell.
Tackle 5, Louis, move!
Tackle though.
That's all that's needed, Eddie. Just put them in a good position. Look.
This is the chance. This is the chance. They've waited 27 minutes here now to get 6 players close to opponent's line. And with the lungs bursting and the legs feeling like lead, St Helens need now to find the 6 players here. Gets them back in chance. Keeps the hopes alive for 2016. Knock on by Patton. The last tackle it was. Moment to rest in the match is Jack Hughes.
And you can see, Phil, that he just took his eye off the ball. It wasn't the best pass. It was rising up into his face. He just had a little glance of the oncoming traffic.
Wait there, Alex.
Boy, this is a golden opportunity now.
It is. Jack Hughes is limping though. 35 metres out, the Saints. They have this set. Thompson with that first drive in. Roby to Wilkin. Wilkin then to Turner.
Two here.
Good run from him. That's 2 tackles gone. They're 12 metres away now. Walmsley will take it forward again. That's a battle of the big men. That's a battle of the big men.
3, move! Get off him.
Down he goes, tackle number 3. Roby. Roby will attack the line, will dab it in.
That way.
Well, it all comes to naught, and Eamon McManus knows that chance.
Did these numbers on that left edge then?
He took a gamble, didn't he? And often the gamble can come off, but I'm afraid on this occasion it certainly didn't.
But they're tackling like tigers here. Saints trying to keep Warrington pinned back.
Move, John!
That's 4 gone.
Here, guys, come.
Ratchford gingerly plays the ball. Clark to Hill.
5 away,
solid run again from Chris Hill.
No.
Nearly lost it. Nearly lost it. Gidley high to the other end of the pitch. Whoa, Jack Owens wasn't bothered then. Trapped it on the foot. Took no risks.
Move out! We're here, boys.
I think he misjudged it in the end.
Tell you what, Wayne Rooney would have been all right with that shape ball coming down on his instep.
2. Move! Come on, here we are.
There's been a nervous game.
Wait here,
for Jack Owens.
It has after he dropped that ball. This is
3. Move, Jack! Come on!
And it's going to take something special because his Warrington defence is very, very strong at the moment.
McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Oh, great run.
4.
He needs to play the ball quickly. Hill's holding him down.
Roby, Walsh, Greenwood. Jack Owens is screaming for the ball down this right-hand touchline. They can't get it out to him with defence like that. Last tackle coming up for Saints.
Wait here.
Corner, surely.
That's where he goes. Crossfield and high. Luke Walsh. Lynham's after it. Ball is played back. Referee and touch judge with a decision to make it. 6 to go. It is 6 to go. Percival scampers in a dummy half. This is Turner. Now it's McCarthy Scarsbrook. Saints not done yet. If they score here, it's all on again. McCarthy Scarsbrook will play it to Roby. Here goes Thompson. Thompson for the line. Just short. 10 minutes left. 8 points the difference. 4 tackles this set. Roby off the ground to Walsh. Walsh to Lomax. Lomax trying to get away from Patton. Patton does well.
Movement back with me.
Roby in again. 10 metres away from the line. Walsh it is. Walsh with the pass to Wilkin. Wilkin finds Turner. He in turn gets it to Percival. Good work by Rhys Evans. Penalty. Penalty. Hands in by Rhys Evans.
Well, I think he knew what he was doing there. Rhys Evans realised that his defence was all over the place. That could actually have been a sin bin. That was a professional foul if ever I've seen one.
Luke Thompson will drive it forward now on the first tackle for Saints. They're 5 metres short of the Warrington line. Roby waits. Back it comes to Amor. Kyle Amor.
Move!
Did it bobble? Did that ball bobble? No.
Roby. Oh, it was quick hands. It's found Lomax. The kick is poor. And it finds Lynham. Well, they're just panicking slightly.
Well, it's poor on the second play. And both sets of players saying pre-game, you've got to build some pressure. And that's panic that from Johnny Lomax. He'll look back, he's a better player.
It's a free play. It's a free play for St Helens with Dominic Peyrou. That's a 0 tackle. They've got 6 to go from here. 18 metres from the line.
Patton's tackle was superb. It had to be.
Amor. Can Warrington hang on? Wilkin, Walsh, short ball, crunching tackle. Gidley, what a tackle from Gidley. Wow!
That could be the game. We often talk about the game breaker.
It's neither leg breaker, it was that good.
Unbelievable.
Is this the moment then for Saints? 2 home wins against the Saints Warrington have had in 21 years. Is this 3rd time lucky?
Well, the speed of thought, yeah, again, he came up with a great tackle. Kirk Gidley, look at this, straight in on Lou McCarthy, help from Rhys Evans, and you can see Keenan Cunningham-Shawman knew that they blew an opportunity, but Stephen Ratchford earns a penalty yet again when he goes from dummy half. You've got to read what's in front of you, and that man has come up with a couple of big plays in this game.
And what about that tackle there from Kirk Gidley, and helped all the way by Rhys Evans. Gidley chopped him down. It was Evans making the impact that lost the ball. Now this is where they just say, we're going to stay down here, folks.
Philbin will take it forward for the Warrington Wolves.
They've got the forwards to just keep control, Warrington.
Well, they need not be flash, need not be flamboyant. There's a run from Sam Wilde. 3 tackles gone.
Yeah, the message has got out, Eddie. Just play it nice and steady.
Toby King goes down, tackle number 4. Clark comes this way with Ratchford. Ratchford to Atkins. He stopped dead in his tracks and forced back. Good tackle that was by Turner. Patton again just drops the ball onto his boot and finds the touch.
It's amazing.
Experience.
It's 8th game, Eddie. And he's playing as though he's been around for years. Under pressure there, just take it steady. Patton said, give it to me. That's what you do.
Steve,
you control the game.
You learn from your mistakes, don't you? Whether you're a senior player or a youngster just making your way. Tony Smith would have spent a lot of time with that youngster after the Wigan game when they had that big lead by 14 points with 20 minutes to go. And the Saints fans now just a bit nervous.
Tony Smith knows you can never write off the Saints. Warrington fans have witnessed over the last 20 years here, the hearts broken in the dying stages of games. And there's still a chance here. 6 minutes is a long time for the Saints.
Well, they've got to score twice, so therefore they've got to keep looking for the offload.
And you're right, Phil, the Warrington fans, no wonder they're biting their nails, because I think that was the St Helens supporter actually biting his nails, but the fact of the matter is Saints have come back from worse positions than this on this ground, and they play like this when they're playing catch-up. And Walsh, good tackle though that by King. Turner. Knowles gets the ball away. Evans did well then to quell the run from Percival. Up goes Lomax, gets the ball away untidily. Had to wait for it, did Wilkin. High kick from Wilkin. Jack Owens is chasing a forlorn cause here. I think the ball is running dead.
Sheer pressure applied to that man, and he knew he had to get the ball away. They've been relentless at Warrington in their defensive pattern tonight. Okay, they just went to sleep slightly just before half-time, which allowed Lomax to pull them level. But this second half, boy, what a display by the Wolves. They've been outstanding, both in defence and attack, and what a second half by Kirk Gidley.
Russell will run away from dummy half. Yes, they've been good last week, they've been as good this week. They have to peak again if they get to the grand final in 4.5 minutes time. The grand final next Saturday the 8th, 5 o'clock, Sky Sports 1.
That's 5.
Warrington at the moment will be playing either Wigan or Hull. Have Saints got anything left? Gidley. The bounce was kind in the end for Lomax.
But look at the chase. Again and again, they would just never allow St. Helens to get into any sort of attacking pattern.
Swift goes down. Tackle number 2. 4 minutes remaining. They have to score. Here goes Dominic Peyrou down the line. He gets away from Atkins. He can't get away from Ratchford. The pass back to Owens somehow.
Jack Hughes just got there in time. Peyrou's down.
Here goes Turner. There was Wilkin. Here is Lomax. Why'd they go to Percival? Why'd they go to Percival?
What a tackle. He was Ratchford afield. It was.
Swift. Back it comes to Walsh. Walsh to Turner. Turner wide, it comes to Peyrou. Peyrou. Back it goes to Roby. Roby. Oh, knocked back off the body. I think it was off King.
Boy, it looked all over. There's going to be a try.
Surrendered to.
Roby looked as though they were going to drag his team back there. King knocks it back. Boy, inches. That's all it took.
That was the chance. That was the chance. Philbin carries it forward for Warrington, who are now less than 3 minutes away from the grand final. Well, there have been heroes all over the pitch for Warrington tonight. And here goes Gidley, one of them. Oh, that was charged down, I think.
Time off.
Ball hit the man, so this should be Saints.
Warrington ball. He's playing the ball.
The other way.
Take that. Time's
He's
off.
asking Joe Cobb, the video referee, just to check this.
I've given him a call live on field, and he's checking it.
Go to the man.
Stewart?
He's not charging down there, he's just standing his ground. The ball hits him. He's not playing at that. This should be Saints head and feed.
Still nerves are plenty. The crowd are expecting it to be head and feed to Warrington. He'll get the message now from Mr. Thaler, and it will go to Saints.
So one last throw of the dice. They might need another.
Time's still off.
Well, it's a golden opportunity when you got the scrum down. Will they do a run around? They've kept Turner very quiet tonight. Looks like Turner's going to get the first receiver.
Let's bang properly, please. Come on. Time's still off, boys. Time is still off,
says the referee, but there's only 2.5 minutes remaining.
Stay in. Stefan,
they
stay in the
surely
scrum.
cannot play the get-out-of-jail card again, can they? McCarthy Scarsbrook.
What, move, George!
But Warrington will be happy with the fact they've got an 8-point lead. And the time might just help Warrington out. But Saints have to score first.
This is Walsh. Here is Lomax. Lomax to Jack Owens. Warrington shuttle across and stop the opportunity. George King, who had the telling interception just a few minutes ago. Here is Greenwood now for Saints. Kieran Cunningham looks anxiously at the clock. He knows there's only 2 minutes to go.
Dominic Peyrou, Eddie, I think he's over.
He's going to get this. No,
Time
he's
off.
gone upstairs.
Time's off.
I have tackled 4. I have no try on field.
No try on the field. That's a big call. That is a big call. So it's going upstairs to Joe Cobb to see about the grounding. I wonder what Peyrou's body language tells us. Stuart, what do the facts tell us?
Well, the call came from the touch judge on the side. He felt he was short. He's probably in line. Does it tell us anything? The view we've got, that doesn't show that anything's on the line at that point. So we stay with that shot, with the decision on the field at the moment. What does this show us? Does he get the ball down on the line? Only part, any part of the ball has to touch any part of the line.
That's a try.
Does he get it down? Is it down? I think that's down.
That is a TRY.
I think that's down there.
Oh, this is now to plenty.
Remember, there's got to be sufficient evidence for the video referee to overturn the decision of the on-field referee. I think the evidence is there. That's a try.
They're still in with a chance of the Saints. The fans are shouting, "Come on, ye Saints!" And Dominique Peru has probably given them a lifeline with only seconds remaining.
That ball's on the line. This should be a try.
I'm with you, Stuart.
Stuart's convinced, Steve-O's convinced. The only man who needs convincing is Joe Cobb. Remember, it's gone upstairs as a no-try decision on the field. There's the ball there. Is it on the line?
Well, all the evidence I've seen shows that that ball is on the line. That shot there shows the ball going down on the line.
Well, Luke Walsh, I can tell you,
clear.
Luke Walsh is waiting to take the conversion.
It's quite clear it's on the whitewash.
Well, what worries me is the fact that the amount of looks, he might turn it down.
He has turned it down. And Kieran Cunningham shakes his head and smiles ruefully. Well, there was a try in the corner from Tom Lynham that was never a try in a month of Sundays.
And that was a try.
That was a try for St Helens. But no wriggle room. No wriggle room for the referees once it goes up as a no try. And no, as far as Joe Cobb is concerned, no clear evidence that that should have been overturned.
Well, I thought it was clear, quite frankly. The white ball hit the white.
Well, maybe there's another twist in the tail. Lomax, but it's taken over the dead ball line by Ratchford.
And they're on the way to Old Trafford. The Wolves are going there. Week on Saturday. Get lining up, buy the ticket.
Well, it's a repeat of the 2013 Warrington against Wigan grand final, or a repeat of the cup final this year against Hull. No try, possibly the biggest video referee decision of the season.
Well, as you said,
no conclusive evidence, Joe Cobb.
But Tom Lynham's try definitely was a knock-on. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what Kieran Cunningham makes after this at the end of this game, because they've run out of time.
Yes, there's not going to be the great escape now, unless they get the 8-point try.
Well, that's a chance. You know what, they've not run out of effort though. That's been an amazing physical input that they've made to this match here, really. They've defended so much more than the home side. They've done it manfully. In the end, they're just going to come up short.
For only the third time in Super League history, Warrington have beaten St Helens in this town. And it is the biggest win of them all, because Warrington are on their way to their third grand final.
And it's fully deserved. And what a great game the fullbacks had, Ratchford as well. And they know it. Clark may be looking at silverware for the second time in his career.
Time off. Time off, Frank.
Time's off, 9 seconds remaining. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Warrington are there.
They're the rules.
Warrington are going to Old Trafford to face either Wigan or Hull again.
And after this performance, Eddie, they would have to start very, very confident indeed. Especially with this man in top form. The young General Patton. Take a bow.
Saints will keep it going to the very last second. Greenwood, the siren has sounded. Greenwood plunks the ball down. Ratchford humps it into the crowd. the try that never was. Tom Lynham scored the try that never was. Warrington are at Old Trafford. The despair for St Helens, the joy, the delight for Warrington. Will it be a repeat of the Wembley final? Will it be a repeat of the 2013 Grand Final? We will know this time tomorrow.
Well, they always say luck favours the brave, but on both accounts, the St Helens side will perhaps rue the fact that Peru's try, which I thought was a try, and we saw on the replay that Tom